afternoon, people. I don't see viewers yet, but I will start anyways. I suppose people join when they feel like joining. So, today's flight, just like last week, is part of a bigger flight series we are going to do later. Maybe later this year or starting... Oh, good afternoon, Daniel. I guess my viewer counter is not real time, still saying 0, but nice to see you here. So today's flight is part of bigger flight series planned for the future, which is the TAP Imperial route. I think it had altogether 12 or 13 different legs. If you, Daniel, remember better, just correct me, but it's gonna be easily 1 to 2 month flight series, even live streaming every single weekend. So we are starting from Lisbon. We are not starting from the Lisbon Humberto Delgado International. We are starting a few miles northeast from Lisbon main airport, from Alverca, which is basically a military base, military airport, but I'm not sure nowadays, but at least at some point it served as a general aviation airfield. So we will start from there, then fly a bit over Lisbon while we are ascending. Then we are following kind of the coastline, trying to stay above the peninsula, above the ground as long as we can. Then we are crossing the ocean, and our destination today is Casablanca in Morocco. We are landing at the Mohammed 5th International Airport in Casablanca. I was trying to recreate the historical Casablanca Anfa airport, but unfortunately with my skills I was not able to blend it in the scenery the way I wanted, so we are just going to use the Mohammed International. They have the ILS and all the modern stuff, but we are using the alternative runway 17 left. We still have them. Daniel, how you call the lights? Pipa lights? The 4 lights you have, you're aiming for 2 red, 2 white lights, but that's the only 8 we are gonna have for the landing. Somewhere in the mid-flight, I am planning to kill one of the engines, engine 1, and I have... Let me go to my sim and I will show you. Oh, hello, Joao. Hope everything is good with you. Thanks for joining, and not sure if you heard the puppy. Puppy was the word, yeah. If you heard, we are flying from Lisbon to Casablanca. But now, in the sim, let me open the checklist. First, we are checking the emergency procedure. I took these procedures directly from the pilot manual, and let's go for the in-flight engine failure. And for some reason in the manual I didn't quite find a clear procedure for restarting the engine. This is all we had. Of course, first we adjust the power of the operational engine and check that we don't have any unnecessary drag. And then with inoperative engines, if we don't have fire, these 4 steps were the only ones that were mentioned in the manual. And I quickly tried yesterday, and with these steps I could not get the engine running again. So I'm not sure if these are just the mandatory checks to avoid extra damage to the engine, and maybe the restart procedure was more intuitional depending on the engine version and all that. So if we go back in the cockpits, the manual didn't mention anything about fuel booster pumps or primer for the restart. So we might need to play around with the booster pump and the primer, and one other thing is the propeller setting. So we have sufficient RPM from the airflow to the engine to start the engine. But I guess we'll see that once we are there. I hope we get it running again, because I really have no idea how to land the plane with one engine, and honestly I'm not very good at landing with 2 engines either, so I prefer to have 2 engines for now. But let's start with our startup procedures. Checklist open. Then battery cards, ground power units off, all switches off, radios off, main ignition off, magnetos off, parking brake, set, tail wheel locked, trims neutral and neutral. Actually, people, give me just 1 second. I will open the keyboard shortcut list I have, so I don't fiddle around the different views. There we go. And checkbox goes here. Perfect. Okay, let's continue with the checklist then. Trims neutral, autopilot, it's obviously off. We don't have hydraulic pressure for it. Crossfeed off. Cowl flaps closed and off. I hate these controls. Closed and off. Closed and off. Gear latch unoperable in this one, but gear is down anyways. Flap handle flaps are up. Hydraulic reservoir checked. Hydraulic reservoir to takeoff position check. Propellers low RPM, throttle idle, and mixture idle and cutoff. Carb heat cold and locked. Weight and balance. Our take weight today is 26,300 pounds. We are within limits, and I already earlier checked that our balance is slightly to the rear, but still within the limits. Then let me check the fuel. Let's go back to flight plan and our fuel. Block fuel. So we are looking at, now it's 3 hours. It was 2.5 hours earlier. What is getting, well, block fuel, 350 gallons, and reserve fuel 40 plus 20, that's 60 gallons. So 350 and 60 gallons fuel. $350, so main tanks, let's say 180, 30 plus 30. That should be plenty for us, and some extra for our little experiments mid-flight. 360 and 60. Perfect. Weight and balance checked. Fuel checked. Next page. Chocks off. Doors closed. Visual check closed. GPU on, and battery cards. Check voltage. We have 30 volts. That's plenty. Then position lights on. Cockpit lights as desired. Let's go with dim lights, and we don't need any instrument lights, that's fine. Then let's get some hydraulic pressure manually. Oh, hello, Big P. How are you? So, hydraulic shut-off valve open. Pump 6 times. We have hydraulic pressure, shut-off valve off, and cowl flaps open. Perfect. Let's check if we have fuel already. 180, yes. 180, yes. 30 and 30. All fueled up. Then fuel selector. To left main tank and right main tank. Blowers low. Propellers can go high RPM. Throttles cracked. Mixture auto reach. Carpet cold and locked. And main ignition on. And we are ready for engine startup. Beacon lights on, so people know that something is going to happen. Window open and windows open, and we will start with the engine number 2. Visual on the prop area, all clear. Then fuel booster pump on. Let's check we have fuel pressure, yes. Then again, still don't remember this. 10 seconds, then mesh, 10 to 15 blades, then magnetos both, and primer. So first, energizer. And we have right engine running. Then let's just wait for it to stabilize, and we will adjust it to 1000 RPM after that. And there we see it waking up. Okay, fuel booster pump off. Check fuel pressure. 15 to 18 psi, yes. Oil pressure over 40, yes. All good with the right engine. And let's do the same for left one. Prop area, all clear. Booster pump on, then energizer. We have fuel pressure, yes. And left engine is alive. Let's wait for that one to wake up. And our left engine is well and alive. So let's just bring the RPMs to 1000. There we go. Fuel booster pump off, and we'll check fuel pressure, checked, oil pressure checked. We have 2 healthy engines. Then after engine starts, energizer neutral, mesh neutral, primers off, battery can go to on chip, and from power units can go away. Generators reset and on, reset and on. Then let's double check our voltage. All good here, 29 volts. Then avionics on. Radios are on. Those are still automatic on me. I don't understand enough of the radios. Altimeter. What can I get here? 29er, decimal 9er. That is good. Gyros unengaged. Engaged. Wing indicator set. Mixture can go to auto lean, and we recheck the RPMs. Give it 1000 RPMs to have decent oil pressure. Otherwise we get the oil pressure warning lights. Hydraulic pressure on green, landing gear pressure green. That's complete. Then flight controls. Full and free. Full and free. And then, before we can taxi, we need our temperatures to be on point. Cylinder head temperature here, over 100 Celsius, yes. Oil temperature between 70 and 90 Celsius, checked. And oil pressure on greenish, under 125 psi. Perfect. Then tail wheel unlocked. Transponder on, and let's tune on ground, and we are departing towards south.
Alverca ground tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha ready to taxi south departure.
Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha taxi 2 and hold short of runway 22 using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 119er decimal 2351 ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 22 via taxiway Alpha tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha.
So, a little U-turn again. Parking brake off. And let's go then. Oh yeah, it's Alverca. Oh, same mistake again. I had the mouse on the wrong screen, so I didn't have any control here. Here we go. One thing I do need to fix with the rudder pedals is I need to buy some kind of grip tape, like the kind they have on skateboards, because they are really slippery with socks and it's really hard to make any accurate inputs with these ones. And I'm not used to wearing shoes in a house, so it's just no for me.
Alverca Tower tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha ready at runway 22 south departure.
Tap Charlie Sierra to minus
Then
Tango
let's
Delta Alpha,
do
wind
our
272 at 4. South departure.
run up, engine run up.
Cleared for takeoff runway 22.
So
Cleared for takeoff runway 22
parking
tap Charlie
brake
Sierra
on,
minus Tango Delta
tail
Alpha.
wheel locked. Check fuel booster pumps are off. Mixture can go to auto. Bridge, cowl flaps open, confirmed. Then set 1700 RPM. Just making sure I have actually the parking brake. I do. RPMs. There we go. Then propeller check. Exercise 1. Right engine exercise once, RPM drop, confirm, exercise twice, RPM drop, confirm, left engine, same procedure. Exercise once, RPM drop, confirm, and second time, confirm, and let's wait for the RPM to rise up again, then magneto check, left, now right, then both, then left, and then both. We should have RPM drop on the left and right. Red engine or confirm. It's above. And magneto left. RPM drop confirm. And back to both. And we are back at 1700. Same for the left engine. Right. RPM confirm. Back to both. And then left. RPM drop confirmed. And everything within the limits, difference between left and right magneto maximum 40 RPM and back to both. We are not going to do the cutoff because it will kill the engines completely. That is possibly a bug with the simulator layer. Then blower check. Throttles at 1700 RPM, blower set high, verify manifold pressure around 30 inch mercury, right engine, blower high, and we are close to 30 inch mercury, and back to low. We should have decrease in the manifold pressure. Yes. Same for left engine, lower high, manifold pressure. Yes. And back to low. We are back to 20 manifold pressure. That is confirmed. Let me close the windows. It's getting a bit noisy. There we go. A bit nicer. Then power and feathering check. Set field parametric pressure, which is around 30 inch mercuries. And verify 2200 RPMs. Yes. Fuel pressure around 15 psi plus minus 1 checked. Oil pressure from 80 to 90. Just slightly over but below the red line. Then we will leave the power settings and check our feathering. We just zoom out. First right engine, feather, and we should have RPM drop. We have clear drop in the RPMs. and left engine feathering working. And then carb heaters, hot, cold, first hot, then back to cold, verify RPM drop. Right engine hot, we have RPM drop, slides, and back to cold. And we have RPM increase. Left engine, same thing, hot, RPM drop, and back to cold and locked. Then throttles to 45-inch mercuries. There we go. Verified 2700 RPM. Verified. And throttle back to closer to idle. And verify 600, 700 RPM. Getting oil pressure warning, that's normal. And we are down to 700 RPM, perfect. Then let's go back to 1000 RPM. And we are not touching the mixture because we will take off right now. Let me put the feed camera on again. And let's taxi to our takeoff position. Tail wheel unlocked, parking brake unlocked. Nice and easy taxi. And let's stop here. Then, last things, pitot heat on, flaps. We'll take off with 1/4 flaps. Trims I leave in neutral. Propellers, high RPM. Mixture auto reach. Confirmed. Carb heat. Cold and locked. Cowl flaps open. Landing lights on. Transponder is on, and parking brake is off. We have clearance already, so let's just take off. Tail wheel locked. Then throttles, field elevation, pressure, brakes off, then take off, power, and up we go. So we go for 30-inch mercury. There we are, just barely see the needle behind the yoke, and off we go. Full power. Dancing on the rudders. 90 miles an hour, let's rotate. And off we go. Gear off. And 100 miles an hour, flaps up.
Charlie Sierra and minus Tango Delta Alpha. Continue for south departure.
Alverca Tower
And
Tap Charlie
we
Sierra
are
minus Tango
airborne.
Delta Alpha. Continue for south departure.
Try to get our airspeed to 120 miles an hour. There we go, and we can bring the power down to 35 inches mercury. And RPMs to 2350. And here we have our climb power setting. Perfect. Then, for now, done with the checklist, I suppose. Yes, we have our climb power. Cowl flaps stay open, and landing lights we are taking off once we start our cruise. Oh, sorry, I forgot to load our flight plan. Let me then engage the autopilots. Can take care of our climb for now, and I will find the flight plan for our flight today.
Tap Charlie Sierra
There we
minus
go.
Tango Delta Alpha, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Alverca Tower Tap
Alverca
Charlie
to
Sierra minus
Mohammed
Tango
5th.
Delta Alpha frequency change. Approach Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha is type Douglas DC-3 5 miles northeast.
Wow,
of
yeah,
Lisbon,
I do have
1,600 feet.
elevator trim,
Request
and
clearance
I
to
have
transition
rudder
Charlie
trim
airspace.
assigned to these
Tap
ones.
Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha approach. Squawk 0773.
Squawk 077 Tap Charlie
Honestly,
Sierra
elevator
minus Tango
trim
Delta Alpha.
works pretty much
Tap Charlie Sierra
as
minus Tango Delta Alpha radar contact.
the
10 miles northeast of Lisbon,
gyro
1,900
pilots.
feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Well, let's get to our
Cleared through the Charlie
routes.
airspace.
We
Tap
are
Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha.
slightly drifting off. And we will be cruising today at 4,000 feet. Our cloud level is around 4,900 feet above the ground, supposedly, though we are entering clouds already, but okay, let's fly manually. The autopilot really helps when I have to fiddle with my second screen, where I have my map and checklist and everything, because if I take the mouse pointer to the second screen, the simulator doesn't take any of my control inputs. It's totally dead. That's where the autopilot really comes handy. But one thing about manually flying is that I'm trying to look into the actual visual references instead of using the GPS map. But for now, when I'm even struggling with landings, I don't want to overload my brain with everything. Oh yeah, Lisbon Airport, it was just on the right. Not very much visibility today, but there it is.
Tower Air Portugal 436 at runway 20 ready for departure IFR to Orly. Air Portugal 436, hold short runway 20. Traffic is Boeing on final. Going to 121.755 Air Portugal 1033. Alpine 15 Romeo Quebec, contact Lisbon Center on 119.55. Good day.
3,500 feet.
Hold short runway 20 Air Portugal 436.
And if we could see, we would have our visual reference pointed at 25 April. But a bit hard to see at the moment. And we are closing our cruising altitude 4,000 feet and trimming down. Trimming down and drifting off the... Oh jeez. Over the river there's always very weird sudden lift. It goes from level flight to 1,500 to 2,000 feet per minute climb in a blink of an eye. And probably lose the lift right now as we fly over the ground. Yep. And here we go.
Cabo Verde 602 contact ground on 121.755. Cabo Verde 602. Goodbye.
And let's reduce our power to cruising power. And trying to trim the airplane again for level flight. Okay, that's good enough. Let's check our power settings. So 28 inches mercury, 2050 RPM, and we can go to auto lean with the mixture to save some fuel. All looking good, temperatures are okay, and fuel is okay. And we are losing the lift again. Drifting lots. We can maintain 150 miles an hour cruise speed. That would be quite awesome.
Cleared for takeoff runway 20. Cleared for takeoff runway 20 Air Portugal 932.
I think the engine failure test we are doing above the Atlantic once we are there and cleared the first half of the flight.
Air Portugal 932 contact Lisbon Center on 119.55. Good day. Going to 119.55 Air Portugal 932.
Oh, really, Daniel? Yeah, I'm actually interested to see when we do the engine failure test how the plane handles, because yesterday when I quickly tried it, it felt really aggressive. to turn to one side with only one engine. So I have no idea how someone can land this plane with only one engine.
Alfred 4167 tower. Altimeter 29er, 2 wind 272 at 4. Cleared ILS runway 20 approach. Cleared ILS runway 20 approach Beaufort for 167. Delta ready for departure runway 20 IFR to Eindhoven. Ryanair 46 Charlie Delta hold short runway 20. Traffic is going on short final.
160 gallons, 160. I hope it's enough. At least we have some reserve. 60 gallons reserve.
Ryanair 2078, turn next taxiway.
Oh, Dan, I need to check that.
Ryanair 2078,
Can you send me the link in WhatsApp?
755. Ryanair 46 Charlie Delta altimeter 29er, 2 wind 272 at 4. Cleared for takeoff runway 20. 121.755 Ryanair 2078. Goodbye. Cleared for takeoff runway 20 Ryanair for 6 Charlie Delta.
And next, heading 170 for the next 280 nautical miles. And somewhere in between we are going to kill one of the engines and check how the procedures go.
Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha contact Lisbon Center on 119.55. Good day.
119.55 tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha. Goodbye.
Tower Alpine Tree 9er Victor Papa ready for departure runway 20 IFR to Nantes.
Air Portugal 9er Tree 2 climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
And here we go.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet Air Portugal 9er Tree 2.
Now that we are all stable here, I will take a very quick break, get some coffee and let the gyro pilots do its job for a second until taking over again. So, see you in a minute.
Air Portugal 903, 2 climb and maintain flight level 210. Climb and maintain flight level 210 Air Portugal 903, 2. Alpine 7637 climb and maintain 3,000 feet. Climb and maintain 3,000 feet Alpine 7637. Alpine 7637 climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Climb and maintain 16,000 feet Alpine 7637. Lisbon Center Air Algerie 3004 is passing 8,900 feet, climbing 12,000 feet. Air Algerie 3004 Lisbon Center altimeter 29.9, 2 radar contact, continue. Easy 90328, you are 500 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 360. Climb and maintain flight level 360, easy 90328. Ryanair 46 Charlie Delta climb and maintain 15,000 feet. 340. Descend and maintain flight level 340 Euro wings 954 tree. Air Algerie 3004 descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet Air Algerie 3004. Air Algerie 3004.
Okay, I'm back.
125.13.
Let's descend a bit. We are a bit above our intended cruising altitude, which was 4,000 feet, so nice little descent. I don't know why my chatbot is silent again. I updated or edited it this week, so I'm not sure if they have to manually do something, so it takes time to activate again, or what's going on. Let's hope it wakes up today at some point.
Alpine 7687 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Climb and maintain 13,000 feet Alpine 7687. Air Portugal 84 heavy descent and maintain flight level 250. Keep speed not above 230 knots. Descend and maintain flight level 250. Keep speed not above 230 knots. Air Portugal 84 heavy.
Trying to trim a bit down. But the trim is slightly slow to respond. Has it happened to you, Joao, that you trim and trim, nothing happens, and then suddenly it's all happens? Let's actually see how much we have to descend to get below the clouds. If we descend now below the clouds, we can then climb again over the ocean to our 4,000 feet for the engine test. Okay, let's try 3,400 if we have a bit more visibility than up in the 4,000 feet.
28 Jet 2942 traffic is 9 o'clock per mile at flight level 370 Boeing. Report them in sight.
Just waiting for the airspeed to
28 Jet
decrease
2942
before
traffic in sight.
trimming her.
Genix tree for 16 traffic in sight.
Still a bit of clouds, but a bit better visibility still. And I'll try to trim her. Somewhere there. Portuguese countryside. fuel situation. 140 gallons. Okay. I hope it's enough. No, not 140, 280 gallons. According to my flight planner, which uses or is supposed to use real-life elevation data, the mountains ahead should be only 2,200 feet. We'll see again if there's different data in the simulator. Do we have to go around from the left side, or can we make the gap here between the peaks?
are 400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level tree 60. Climb and maintain flight level tree 60 Eurowings 7533. Scandinavian 20908, you are 400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 350.
Yeah, Daniel, shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 Scandinavian 20908.
I'm not sure if it's same in real life, but somehow, at least in the simulator, it's sometimes really hard to visually assess how high the mountains are and how high I am. Maybe our eye is just not used to this kind of altitudes and elevations. Well, now we are in the clouds. Now I just hope. Oh, easily. Not even close.
Air Portugal 1136 climb and maintain flight level 270. Climb and maintain flight level 270 Air Portugal 1136.
Oh, we are at the coast already.
Austrian 90506 descend and maintain flight level 340. Descend and maintain flight level tree, 40 Austrian 90506.
Oh, we can actually forget to turn these off.
Chanix 306 climb and maintain
And booster pumps are off.
9,500 feet. Climb and maintain 9,500 feet, Chanix 306. Eurowing 7267 descend and maintain flight level tree 60. Descend and maintain flight level tree 60 Eurowing 7267. Austrian 90506, you are 400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level tree 40. Climb and maintain flight level tree 40 Austrian 90506. Air Portugal 1136 climb and maintain flight level tree 30.
There we have Portimao.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 30 Air Portugal 1136.
And suppose here is Lago. And we are above the ocean. For the next whatever, suppose 180 nautical miles. 200 nautical miles, something like that.
Air Portugal climb and maintain flight level tree 60. Climb and maintain flight level tree 60 Air Portugal 113.
And looks like today we are able to maintain a nice 150 miles an hour and 130 knots airspeed, cruising speed. That's pretty okay. And in 10 minutes we will kill one of the engines and try to get it back up. Before that I will take a bit more coffee, I'll put the gyro pilots work and take a little break from the cruising.
Touristic 1076. Goodbye. Austrian 90506 contact Madrid Center on 118.275. Good day. Austrian 90506. Goodbye. Lisbon Center Viking 1506 is passing 1,100 feet, climbing 10,000 feet. Cessna Sierra Charlie Yankee, you are 2,400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 350. Viking 1506 Lisbon Center altimeter 29er, 2 radar contact. Continue to Narta. Climb and maintain flight level 350 Cessna Sierra Charlie Yankee. Contact Casablanca Center on 125.1. Good day. Going to 125.1 Blue Max 3805. Viking 1506 climb and maintain flight level 220. Climb and maintain flight level 220 Viking 1506.
Okay, I am back. Are we ready? I will take the checklist open already now, because as I told, when I move my mouse to the second screen, I lose control from the airplane momentarily, and when I'm shutting down the engine, I don't want to lose control of the aircraft. So, for the people who weren't here from the beginning, we are going to do this so that I will cut off the fuel supply to our left engine to kill it completely, and the reason why we are doing it this way is that I want to be 100% sure that we can, or we should be able to restart the engine. If I did from the, let me also open the EFR. I'll do one more thing from here. Yes, to get our flight plan also here. There we go. So we can have some kind of reference where we are heading once the airplane starts doing its crazy things. So, as I was telling, I want to be 100% sure that the engine can be started again. If I did from the timed engine failure, I wouldn't be 100% sure that we can start. This is because I want to find all the steps we need to restart the engine. Because the steps you can see on the bottom left, they are from the emergency procedure manual, but with those steps only, I tried yesterday quickly and I was not able to restart the engine. It just didn't do anything. So it might be something intuitive, the actual restart process, what pilots were doing. So that's why we will see how much we need to fiddle out with the fuel booster pumps and maybe primer, and also the propeller control to have enough RPM from the air flow to actually crank the engine and restart it. So let's start. Let me turn off the autopilot and make sure that I am trimmed. All looking good. Let's kill the engine and hope for the best. Fuel tank selector off, and we lost left engine and immediately power also. So now we are taking out the checklists. Our manual takes a while, trying to have control over the plane, and we have our manual out. Then first steps. Our altitude is, we are below 7,500 feet, so we crank up the right engine power up to just below 40 inches mercury. There we go, power cranked up, and RPMs to 2,550. There we go, and let's try to have control of the plane. Let me see, what can I do here? I think rudder might be needed here. Okay, we are kind of stable without one engine. I'm not going to trim too heavily because once we get the engine running, we will be in trouble with the trims. Landing gear is up, flaps are up, cowl flaps are open, and trims are what they are at the moment. Then, inoperative engine, throttle idle, propellers full decrease, and visual check, no fire. Then fuel tank selector, main tank, left main. We are losing altitude, but it is what it is for now. Magnetos are both. Mixture goes to full reach. Carb heat, this is weird, but let's follow the procedure, and coast hots. As we can see, nothing is happening. We don't have any RPM on the engine. So let's first try to get some RPM to the engine. There we go, halfway, and we have enough airflow there. Still nothing happening. Let's try fuel booster pump and throttle cranked. Operating. It's not. Then let's try primer. And we have an operational engine with the help of primer. Then fuel booster pump off, try to level the plane, and let's check our power. Let's keep it at 35 for now and come down with the RPMs a bit. And let's wait for the cylinder head temperature rise a bit, and then we come back on the power to our cruising power. So we have again two operational engines, but it did indeed need booster pump and the primer to start it up. So those one I will need to add to the checklist for future failures. And we can come back to our cruising power with both engines. And also carb heat back to cold. So that's it. We have again operational engines. That is, I have to admit, that's a bit too much for one person to take care of everything while trying to keep the airplane flying. Let's climb back to 4,000 feet. Bit more power. And climb to our cruising altitude. Any thoughts on the restart?
Ocean Tree 13 is at flight level 370 climbing, flight level 380. Ocean Tree 13 Lisbon Center radar contact. Continue to Betos.
Now we have both engines running right now. Let me see, how much do we have until... we have plenty of time. Let me do it again. I'll climb to 6,000 feet, so we have a bit more threshold with the altitude, and we can do it again. It is again 2 engines. I was able to restart the engines. But we will do it again. I will kill the left engine again, and let me just climb a bit so we have a bit more altitude, because we will lose it quite a lot during the test. So in about 5 minutes we can try again, or let's say 1 minute. When we have 5,000 feet, that's enough for me. I'll get the checklist open and I will explain you again what I now know from the first try. The checklist I have, these procedures are from the emergency procedure manual, but it doesn't actually have all the steps we need to restart the engine. I'm not sure if that is something intuitive for the pilots, that they were just doing the basic check not to cause any damage and then doing whatever they can to restart the engines. But we will follow this list, and right now, after the first try, I can already say that propellers we need to crank up to about half to actually generate some RPMs to the dead engine. And then we will need fuel booster pump, and to actually start the engine we will also need to prime. For some reason, booster pump and priming, they are not in the manual mentioned at all, but at least in the simulator, we will need those to be able to restart the engine. So let me level off here at 5,000 feet, and we can do it all over again. Let me actually get over the clouds. So I can actually have some kind of visual reference here. Oh yes, that's good. So, are you ready for the second fail test? Daniel. Big P. Yes, is Daniel here also? Let's see. So let me turn off the gyro pilots. We are nice and steady. Let me go to the cruise power so we have a better simulation about this. And let's go. I'm gonna do this with shutting off the fuel supply for the left engine, so we can know for sure that the engine can be restarted. Just to see the whole process, what we need to do. So, let's go. Fuel supply off. Uh-oh, we lost an engine. Now I'm trying to keep the airplane somewhat in control. Take out the emergency manual, and we can see that our left engine is dead, not functioning. We don't have fuel supply. Okay, then operational engine around 40 inches mercury. There we go. And trying to keep the altitude also. And RPM
Squawk 7000.
25
Frequency
feet.
change approved. Tap
There we
Charlie
go.
Sierra
Now
minus
we
Tango
have
Delta Alpha.
Ryanair 4051
power from
climb
the
and
operational
maintain flight
engine,
level 210.
and we can
Squawk 3415. Tap Charlie Sierra
go
minus
for the
Tango
next
Delta
steps.
Alpha.
So for now,
Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha radar contact.
inoperative
6
engine,
miles south of 0, 4,900 feet.
we go
Altimeter
throttle
29.92.
idle.
Roger. Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango
There
Delta
we go.
Alpha.
Throttle is idle, and propellers full decrease. But as we can now see, we don't generate any RPM with the airflow, which is not what we want. Let's first go for left main tank. Now we have some fuel supply there. Then magnetos are both. Mixture goes to full reach.
Casablanca Center, 28 jet 408,
And
flight level
car
350.
is hot.
28 jet 408, Casablanca Center.
These are
radar
all the
contact.
steps we
Continue
have
to
in the
Cornell.
manual, and as we can see, nothing is happening with the engine. So what I want to do now is crack open the throttle. Then we want to generate some RPM in the engine, so we adjust the propellers. And we have 1000 RPMs. We can go on and switch on the fuel booster pump and see if anything is happening. Do we get operating engine or not? and we do have operational engine. We can go higher power, and no, I did not feather. Feathering is only if we are unable to restart the engine. It's only then. And now we have 2 operational engines. Everything is stable. We can go back to normal settings. So no priming needed, but fuel booster pump is needed for the restart. That's what we know now. Then we go back to auto lean and back to cruising settings. There we go. We have operational aircraft once again. Yeah, I'm leaning the mixture now that we are back to cruising, just to save fuel. And let's see. Questions. Did you feather? No, I did not feather. Feathering is for the situation when we are not able to restart the engine. Then we want to minimize the drag and feather the proper props, but it's only for that. If I feather the props before trying to restart the engine, then I will not generate any RPM in the engine, because the blades are straight to the wind and not generating any RPM. So feathering is only if we are not able to restart the engines, but for these simulation purposes I didn't go to the failure options. I only wanted to cut the mixture or cut the fuel supply, because I wanted to be completely sure that we can restart the engine, to see what are the steps to take. But now we are back in stable cruise and everything's looking fine, except carb heat off and locked. Maybe next time we can try engine fire procedure. Then we obviously don't even try to restart the engine. But I'm not sure if I even want to try to land this plane with only one engine. Sounds a bit scary idea. And now we can descend back to 4,000 feet, our cruising altitude, and keep cruising. How is our fuel looking? We are maybe 2/3 on our routes and our fuel. How does it look? We have 100 gallons and 110 gallons. So we have over half left of what we initially had. So no worries with fuel. Looking all good. and just descending back to 4,000 feet, and then we'll level off. Okay, that was quite intense. Have to say that definitely not a one-man procedure. That was something. So we have everything normal here. Yes, primers off, booster pumps off, and mixture auto lean, and power settings looking all good. Now we keep cruising, and we will initiate our descent around here. We'll start getting ready around here, and then just before our last waypoint we start to descend. And let me double check what was the elevation of our destination. Elevation of Mohammed 5th is 650 feet. Perfect. Well, after that, I definitely need a little break. That was quite intense. Half an hour. So, see you in a little bit.
flight level tree 50 Boeing Kilo Oscar Romeo. Casablanca Center, 28 Jet 229er 2 flight level 370. 28 Jet 229er 2 Casablanca Center, radar contact, continue. Jet 229er 2, you are 500 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 370.
Okay, I am back. That was well-deserved break. I'm still shaking from overload of everything happening at the same time, so definitely was nice. And my flatmate's girlfriend made me an bacon and avocado toast. That was delicious. I had to eat that quickly, now that it still was warm. So now we are back at stable situation, and I can tell you I'm not doing that third time in a row. Not at all. That was quite a handful things happening. Can we see the coast already? Big pieces we can see. Let me go for external. I don't quite see yet, but I suppose it is here behind the clouds. I think it's just the clouds for now. We have still like 1, 2/3. I think we have still 80, 90 nautical miles. So no coast quite yet. A bit more to go. But yeah, maybe next time we can try the engine fire procedure. That would be fun, or sort of fun. But I think that one I will do just initiates a flight without takeoff and landing, and we can try how the engine fire is put out and everything, because we have, let me show you. Can I just move around here, over here? Because here we have the fire extinguisher controls, and these are actually operable. We have selector, and then I think this is, what does it say? So I guess here we choose which motor, and then this is to actually yeah, I'm sure that if we go through the fire procedure, then there is no way to bring the engines back up again. So that's why I'm saying that probably it will be just, we might initiate a flight already airborne and try the fire procedure. But we do also have another plan, which with Daniel from Aviaso TV we were planning already for this weekend, but it was a busy weekend at the Lisbon airport for Daniel filming all the movements, so we decided to postpone it. But Daniel has a simulator himself, and he is into the big planes, Airbuses, and plan for some of the future weekends would be that Daniel would come here to my place and try the A320 on this flight sim, because what is the flight sim, Daniel, you are flying? It was Flight Simulator X, am I correct? But yeah, I think Big P, I will do the Imperial routes, but I am very tempted to also buy the Flight Sim 2024 once they have come up with a few more updates, so it's actually functionable. And for the Imperial routes, I would like to recreate the historical airports and not use the nowadays very modern airports. So my plan is to see in 2024 if it's a bit easier to build the historical airports myself and blend them in the scenery. I tried it with this one, and it's really difficult to make them blend in. I can build one, but it really pops out from all the rest of the scenery, so it wasn't really, it wasn't good in my eyes. But the Imperial roads, the full one, is definitely on the list, But for that, I will also create a clear schedule what day we start, and if it takes, I think it had 12 or 13 different legs. So if I would make one leg a day, and let's say I would do every Saturday and Sunday, it's still gonna be 1.5 months. So I will create a clear schedule for it, when we are flying and which leg, but it is definitely on the list to do the whole Imperial routes all the way to Maputo. But as we were talking with Daniel about the A320 tryouts with him, it would also be nice to have a bit of variation for the flights and not have all the time just me flying DC-3, but also having Daniel trying other planes, and eventually I will also try other planes, but as long as I can't confidently land DC-3, I don't quite see reason why I would even try flying A320s or Boeings or anything like that. So for now it's DC-3, and then whatever we come up with Daniel would be nice variation for the videos. We have a very nice cruising speed today, 150 miles an hour, 100 and what does it make? 130 knots, a bit over 130 knots. Oh yes, Daniel, I think you might have been out doing your bad habits, but I was just talking about you that we were planning the A320 for this weekend, but then it was so busy at the airport for you to film that we decided to postpone it. But it is definitely one thing on the list upcoming. Like, okay, Big P says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 13 legs for the Imperial routes. I see. Big P, do you know in Casablanca, did they use the Mohammed 5th airport, or were they still using the Casablanca ANFA? Because I think it was around that time. The ANFA is the historic international airport, but they did open the Mohammed 5th around 1940s, 1950s, something like that. Most of the towns have changed names. Yeah, I'm quite sure it's gonna be a bit of research to do to find what towns they were, but oh, it was 1940s already. Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right. So it was auxiliary airfield, yeah. No, sorry, not emergency procedures. This one, checklist. So we are now just cruising. For descents, lower should be low. Yes, they are low. We go towards, I would say probably 25 inches mercury, 2350 RPMs. Cowl flaps we have open already. We can actually go straight to this because we have a very short descent, so we go straight to auto reach with the mixture. Plenty of fuel for that, so no worries at all. Oh, the first one was already 1946. Okay. It was that early. And we will see our airspeed when we are approaching. If we try to land with flaps with half flaps, which I actually saw from the operational, from the pilot manual, that half flaps are preferred in most of the situations. Today I'm not expecting any heavy winds, so 3/4 flaps wouldn't hurt, but it would be interesting to see if the approach is a bit more stable with only half flaps and less fiddly. But we'll see when we get to the approach. Maybe we go for 3/4 as I've always gone. How is everything here? All looking good. Carpet could be a bit higher, but I'm not going for the carp heaters now because we are only at 4,000 feet and we will also start preparing for the descent very soon. Cylinder head temperature, oil temperature, all good. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, all good. Nothing to worry. One red light which we need to ignore. And before we reach the next waypoint, I will take one final break before we start the descent, approach and eventually landing.
.275 Ryanair 3982. Goodbye.
How is our fuel load? Still 80 gallons, 90 gallons. So we have still almost half left. Was maybe a bit overkill to put 180 plus 180. At least we are not running out. Now it's time for me to take last little break before we start preparing for the descent and approach. Soon we should have visual to the coast also and start all the preparations. So see you very very soon.
Royal Air Maroc 9060 climb and maintain flight level 310. Climb and maintain flight level 310 Royal Air Maroc 9060.
Okay, very soon we start preparing for the descent. And our runway today is 17 left.
Royal Air Maroc 9060 climb and maintain flight level 350. Europa 9073 have the Boeing in sight.
Okay, let's start reducing our power settings. 25 inches manifold and increase RPMs to 2350. Can also go to auto reach at this point. Turn on landing lights, and also, since we have very short approach, go with the fuel booster pumps for the landing already now. So we are nicely under 155 miles an hour. We can start with 1/4 flaps and then trim down to keep our descent.
Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha. Contact Mohammed V approach on 119er.9er. Good day.
Going to 119er.9er, tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha. Mohammed V approach, tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha, 3,500 feet.
Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha Mohammed V approach altimeter 29er.9er. 2 radar contact. Continue.
And let's increase the flaps to half flaps and again adjust our pitch. Let's make sure our tail wheel is locked. Carpet cold and locked. Boosters low. Cowl flaps open. Auto reach. All good here. Landing lights are on. Fuel booster pumps on. That's all checked. Pitch is slightly aggressive. Pitch up a bit. And now we can see the coast here. But no airport in sight yet. are getting a bit too low. And we have airport in sight. still losing airspeed too much. Oh, you just joined for the fun part. The attempted landing. And we are on the land safely. That was a bit better than last weekend. Tail wheel unlocked. Oh, the IKEA walk. I hate that place. I went to buy something and then getting up from the IKEA to my bus stop, that was painful. But yay! We are safely on the ground. Now let's clear off the runway, get our parking taxi. This time we actually leave, yeah. That was a lot better than last weekend. Let me just clear off the runway, get our checklists once again. We'll stop here, keep the engines nice and running. Let's put parking brake for a second. Then checklist once again. I think, yes, Emirates. And should be somewhat live. Yeah, that's kind of weird thing. I really wish that they had some sort of you could turn the clock back in the simulator, but for now we are stuck with A380. Yes. Okay, after landing. Yes, tail wheel unlocked. Oh, flaps up, of course. Fuel booster pumps off. Pitot heat off. Landing lights. I suppose I will leave them on for the taxi. And then we are ready for the taxi. Let's tune on ground. Taxi to parking.
Mohammed B. ground tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha taxi to parking.
Tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway
There you go.
Alpha.
Window open.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha tap Charlie Sierra minus Tango Delta Alpha.
Let's taxi. And we have here Royal Air Maroc also. And we are parked. Parking brake on. Then parking tail wheel. Tail wheel locked. Blowers are low. Mixture can go to auto lean. Propellers are high RPM. Throttles close to idle. And then shutdown procedures. First, cow flaps. Off and closed and off. Closed and off. Generators off. Then we can kill the engine. Mixture idle and cut off. Fuel selector valves off and off. Magnetos off. Main ignition off. All the lights off. And also cockpit lights off. Avionics master off. And there went my checklist suddenly. But that's it. Battery switch to cards. Open doors. And there we are. All done and parked, and a lot more successful landing than last time. It seems that one thing I forgot to do is to put the trim to neutral, but let's just do it now. So, thank you for joining. It was interesting flight. And for the ones who didn't see the engine cutoff practice, we did it twice. It was somewhere mid-air over the Atlantic, and I think I can maybe in a few days I can try to put timestamps on the video, but until it's fully uploaded I can't really do it, but it is there. It took half an hour, so it should be quite easy to find when things start happening. But thanks for joining. Let's see what we come up for next weekend. Maybe next weekend we can get Daniel here to fly A320. We'll see about that and how busy weekend it is at the airport. But for now, that's it for this flight. Thank you for joining and see you next time. Bye. Have a great Sunday, everybody.